Hi, and welcome to this segment of Maths exam questions on decimals, fractions, percentages, and ratios. Question 1 wants us to write 3/4 as a decimal. Knowing that a decimal can be expressed as a fraction, with its denominator being an order of 10, 3/4 is equal to 75/100 and a decimal of 0.75. Question 2. Work out 120 as a percent of $16. This is a question of some part of the whole. By making 120 the numerator and $16 as the denominator and multiplying this by 100%, you will get 7.5%. Question 9. Azif and Ben share $2,100 in the ratio of 3 to 7. Work out how much Azif receives. Another question in relation to some part of the whole, with Azif's portion being some part and 3 plus 10 as the total portion. This being multiplied by $2,100 will give us the solution $630. Question 15. Without using a calculator, work out the sum of the two fractions. You start by identifying the lowest common multiple for the denominators of the two fractions. Next, you would scale each fraction in accordance and then sum its numerator. Question 17. Explain why triangle ABC and triangle PQR are similar. It is because all internal angles for both triangles are the same. Therefore, the second triangle is just a scaled shape of the first triangle. Next, find AC. Here, the ratio of AC to PR should be the same as the ratio of AB to PQ. Question 7a. Shade 5/8 of this rectangle. There are 24 rectangles altogether, with 5/8 being equivalent to 15/24. We should be shading 15 rectangles altogether. Question 15. A box contains 22 colored pencils. 6 pencils are pink, 9 pencils are blue, 7 pencils are yellow. Write down the ratio of pink pencils to non-pink pencils. Give your answer in its simplest form. The ratio is 6 to 16 and in the simplified form 3 to 8. Question 18. A machine always takes 5 minutes to paint an 80-meter white line on a road. Work out the number of meters painted in 45 minutes. The length of the line is obtained by scaling it in accordance to the factor of time. Question 18b. Work out the number of minutes taken to paint a 2.8 kilometer line. Likewise, the duration in minutes is scaled in accordance to the factor of the two lines. Question 5. Gyulo's reaction times are measured in 2 games. In the first game, his reaction time is 1/3 of a second. In the second game, his reaction time is 1/8 of a second. Find the difference between the two reaction times. This will be a subtraction of two fractions. Question 17. Without using a calculator, work out the product of the two fractions. In following through the working, the answer is 4/15. Question 18. Shape ABCD is similar to shape PQRS. Work out the value of A. Knowing that the proportion of AD and PS being equal to that of AB with PQ, A is 7. Question 19. Harry invests $800 for 2 years at a rate of 3% per year compound interest. Calculate the amount of interest he receives at the end of the 2 years. The amount of interest earned will be 1.03 to the order of 2 multiplied by 800 minus 800. Question 25. Jason spends 480 minutes at school each day. The pie chart shows the time he spends in 3 of his lessons. A. Measure the sector angle for science. The measured angle should be 85 degrees. Next, work out the time in minutes Jason spends in English. This time can be calculated from the ratio in angles against the total time, and that amounts to 60 minutes. Question 25C. Jason spends 100 minutes in geography and the rest of the day is free time. Complete the pie chart. Likewise, we could calculate the angle for geography based on the ratio in the two given timings. Question 9. Find the highest common factor of 90 and 48. You start by breaking down 90 and 48 to its prime factors. Highest common factor is identified by the product of all prime factors that are repeating, and the answer is 6. Question 10. On a map with a scale of 1 to 25,000, the area of a lake is 33.6 square centimeters. Calculate the actual area of the lake, giving your answer in square kilometers. It is to be noted here that all conversions will also need to be squared to arrive at the actual area of 2.1 kilometer squared. Question 13. Without using a calculator, work out the division of the two fractions. Here, the division can be changed into a multiplication by flipping the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction and solving the expression accordingly. Question 15. Shona buys a chair in a sale for $435.60. This is a reduction of 12% on the original price. Calculate the original price of the chair. Here the chair is bought at a reduction of 12% on the original price. This equates to the chair being bought at 88%. Therefore, the original price of the chair can be calculated by dividing 435.60 with 88%. Question 1C. Write these in order of size, starting with the smallest. For questions of this kind, it's best that you convert all of the numbers into decimals as they are easiest to compare. Do use the calculator as required. Question D. Work out 142 as a percentage of 304. The working should get us to 46.7%. Question E1. Find the highest common factor of 28 and 98. Identifying all the prime factors that are repeating, the highest common factor is 14. Question 2. Find the lowest common multiple of 28 and 98. The initial working is the same. Then you take on non-repeating prime factors to make up the lowest common multiple. Question 3. The music teacher at a school forms an orchestra. The instruments in the orchestra are 36 string, 15 woodwind, and 12 brass. Write the ratio string, woodwind, brass in its simplest form. In the first instance, you should have a ratio of 36 to 15 to 12. And by dividing each with its highest common factor, you should arrive at a ratio of 12 to 5 to 4. 3b. The 36 string instruments are violins, cellos, and double basses in the ratio of 9 to 2 to 1. Show that the number of violins is 27. You do this by taking the part representing the violin, which is 9, the whole being the sum of all the ratios, and multiply this by the number of string instruments. You should arrive at the answer 27. Next, work out the number of cellos and the number of double basses. The math should get you to 6 and 3 respectively. Next, the 15 woodwind instruments are oboes, flutes, and clarinets. 20% of these instruments are oboes. There are twice as many flutes as clarinets. Find the number of flutes. The number of oboes is 3, being 20% of 15. With the remaining number of instruments being 12, it should lead us to the number of flutes being at 8. Question 3D. Of the 12 brass instruments, a third are trumpets, 3 are trombones, and the remainder are horns. Find the number of horns. The number of trumpets is 4, being a third of 12. The number of trombones is given. Therefore, the number of horns is a simple maths calculation. Question E. The music teacher needs to buy all instruments for the orchestra. Complete the table. The cost column is purely the product of the number of instruments and the price of each instrument. Next, find the total cost of all instruments. This would be the total for the numbers on the cost column. Question 3F. The school is given 65% of the total cost of all the instruments. Find how much more money is needed. It would be 35% of the total cost of all instruments. Question 2E. Write down the smallest prime number. The smallest prime number is 2. Question 2F. Write down all the factors of 18. The other numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Question 2G. Write down a common factor of 16 and 72 that is greater than 2. By identifying the factors of both 16 and 72, the common factors greater than 2 are just 4 and 8. Question 2H. Write 28 over 140 as a fraction in its simplest form. This is 1 over 5. Question 2I. Jeff and his friends win a prize. Jeff's share is $160, which is 5/11 of the prize. Work out the value of the prize. The answer is obtained by dividing 160 with 5/11. Question 3. Mr. Lester has a fruit and vegetable shop. George spends $12 on fruit each week. The total amount he spends on food is $75. Work out the percentage of the $75 he spends on fruit. The required percentage comes to 16%. Question 3D. Mr. Lester buys pineapples for $1.50 each. He makes 60% profit when he sells them. Work out the selling price of a pineapple. The required selling price is $2.40. Question 8a. The price of a book increases from $2.50 to $2.65. Calculate the percentage increase. It gets us to 6%. Next, Scott invests $500 for 7 years at a rate of 1.5% per year simple interest. Calculate the value of his investment at the end of the 7 years. Being simple interest, the final investment is 500 times 0.015 times 7 plus 500. Question 8c. In a city, the population is increasing exponentially at a rate of 1.6% per year. Find the overall percentage increase at the end of 20 years. Percent increase can be identified through 1.016 to the order of 20 minus 1. Next question. The population of a village is 6,400. The population is decreasing exponentially at the rate of R% per year. After 22 years, the population will be 2607. Find the value of R. We start by equating the product of 6,400 and D to the order of 22 with 2607. We obtain R by subtracting D from 1. Question 10c. The diagram shows two mathematically similar shapes with areas 295 cm squared and 159.5 cm squared. The width of the larger shape is 17 cm. Calculate the width of the smaller shape. Start by expressing the ratio for the two areas. Next, you want to re-represent the ratio to start with 1, with the second now being 1.8495. In converting a ratio from its area to its width, the ratio now becomes 1 to the square root of 1.8495, which is equivalent to 1.36. The required width is therefore 17 divided by 1.36. Question 1c. There were 3.08 times 10 to the power of 5 passengers that made this journey in 2018. This was a 12% decrease in the number of passengers that made this journey in 2017. Find the number of passengers that made this journey in 2017. Give your answer in standard form. With 12% decrease being equal to 88% of total, the required number is the number in 2018 divided by 0.88. That's all for this segment. Do get into our other videos under KT Tutorial channel if you've liked this.